What's up, folks? It's time for. Oh, hello. What's up, Pippin? It's time for the review of episode 5 of Andor, which is an awesome show, and I'm really loving it. And I think you should be watching it if you haven't already done so. It is peak Star Wars. It's great to have something that's not, you know, the Skywalker family for a change, and something that digs into like the gritty realism of just good Star Wars. I love the color grading here. We're going to be getting into the episode. Hopefully, she doesn't. She's being very cuddle-buggy. As long as she doesn't attack the microphone or the cable, we should be okay. If not, I may have to do another episode, but we'll see. In the meantime, welcome. If this is your first time tuning in, don't forget to check out the other episodes in this review series and beyond. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, because I do a lot of different shows and I'm incorporating more into my YouTube channel. So if you like this kind of stuff, make sure you follow along for more and support the channel. It's super easy. You can join as a member of the Adventurers Guild down there. It's less than $3 a month. It's $2.99. You can also support with a super thanks down there. And if you're on a live stream or a premiere, you can do super chats and stickers. Oh, you're being little wrestler girl. Yeah, let me review my episode, honey. So let's dive in to Andor, episode 5. Now, I really love the color grading in this show, and that's probably because they shoot so much on physical sets compared to like Book of Boba Fett and Mandalorian and stuff. But they're doing a great job of matching Rogue One. And we get this opening shot here where the deputy lieutenant Cyril, he's having a mental breakdown essentially at his mom's house. He showed up here, tail between his legs. Um, let's see if she'll stay there with her brother. Um, at the end of, I think it was the previous episode because he got booted out by the Imperial regime coming in. And there's this moment when he's looking out, watching the sun go down, and they're way down, like in the apartments down towards the bottom. So they don't live in the nicest of places. And he's almost crying. Like his life is like falling apart at this point. Like he's having a true, mental breakdown. And then we meet his mom. She smacked him when he came in. And this scene where she is basically just degrading him as she's giving him cereal and like accusing him of never visiting. He's like, I had a spare bedroom. You could have visited anytime you wanted. She's like, an open invitation is no invitation at all. And she's just doesn't seem like a very nice person. And so we get the distinct impression that this is the last place he wanted to come for help, but he had nowhere else to go. And there's something about calling in Uncle Harlow, calling in a family favor to get someone to take Cyril on, so they have something to do, a prospect, which does show up later in the episode. Um, and turns out that she just, talked to Harlow, and he's gonna try to find something for the lieutenant to do, but we'll see. Um, the scene where Cassian wakes up at the planet, he freaks out because all his gear's gone. And then we find this guy Skeen standing over his stuff, having gone through it all apparently at Vel's orders. It's just there's no trust among this group, and I understand it. He came in a new face after months and months and months. And Skeen start making assumptions about why Cassian joined them. Um, you know, you've got this corporate issued pistol and you showed up here with nothing and a wound on your arm. Obviously you're running for something and, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right, baby, how are you? He notes then that Cassian knows about his tattoos, and so they have this conversation about the tattoos that Skeen's got. So apparently they were from the military resistance stuff that Cassian also served in when he was apparently a 13-year-old boy. Um, and so they have a conversation. You almost feel like there's a slight bond growing here, but at the same time, monster kitty cats. The bond is tenuous at best. Um, and then we're back to Mon Mothma, and I'm really curious about what's going on with Mon Mothma and her husband because there doesn't appear to be any love lost between these two, and they're constantly kind of jabbing at each other with these pointed barbs and conversation points. And there's this scene here where, you know, talking about the driver and he doesn't even know the driver's name. And she's like, he has a name, So she's trying to, she appears to be very connected to the people in a way that her husband is not, where he's kind of like a pompous, I'm a senator. I don't need to know people's names, so on and so forth. Um, I have to keep her busy because otherwise she's attacking things. Um, then the daughter comes in and there's this scene where apparently they were supposed to do something today. and the daughter doesn't want to go. And Mon Mothma's like, you need to go. We already planned this. And um, the daughter's like, you planned this, not me. And it's always all about you. And Dad just nods his head, which makes me go, this appears to be a very toxic family. I don't know what got him to this point, so I'm hopefully that's going to be explained as opposed to she found the she found the cable. Hang on. Um, oh my god. I want to know what happened here to make them this way. Uh, Going back to the characters in the woods, Neem's manifesto speech is really brilliant. It's nuanced, but also chucklingly innocent. It's got a lot of truths about the Empire's regime and their oppression. But we realize as Cassian is listening to Devell and the other guy that you know, it's just an obsession with him, and he's a young kid, but he's got these idealistic goals. And then as Cassian goes over and starts talking to the Val and the other guy, Tamarin, I forget his name. They're going over the plan, and he realizes they don't know how to fly the ship, and they don't know how to get it up, and they haven't planned all these things because they don't know any better. And he starts freaking out, going, you know what? I'm just going to handle all these responsibilities, which just goes to show you that he really is the missing link that was needed for this team because he's got all this experience and expertise that's gonna bring it all together. I'm laughing at the fact that she kind of is borderline on the zoomies back there, as her brother is just like passed out. Luke was like, "Nope, I'm over it." Anyway, um, it's a bunch of kids here. Only Skeen appears to have any real experience. Um, there's some scene back and forth scenes here, which um, honestly, going back to the planet, the original planet where Cassian killed the guys, and we see the Imperial agent taking over, and he's got this underling underneath him who's wants to be known as the new prefect, and he's going to take over this hotel and some other stuff. And then we're back to Dedra, and she's still trying to track down where this device came from, and against her boss's wishes. But her assistant is on it with her, and he's like, "Look, we got all these pieces: Kessel, Fondor, targeting consoles from Jakku, proton warheads from Base K, the Steerguard Starpath. Your superior says it's too spread out to be organized, but you don't believe that. Neither do I. So they pop a stim and they get back to work. And it just goes to show you that, we obviously know that she's on the right track because this is the start of the rebellion. Um, and the fact that she talks about it's too random to be random, her assistant says that. I hope you guys get a kick out of this as I do these. Oh, no, don't do that to my chair, honey. Come on, honey. Trying to do a review here. We finally get a glimpse of Gorn's motivations. We get told that ow, honey, your claw. That actually kind of hurt. Gorn apparently fell in love with a local woman. There was some sort of an incident with the Empire. The woman was lost. It just says that he lost the woman. It doesn't say what happened to her. Um, and then it says he lost his taste for the Empire. So something happened with the local woman that he fell in love with, and that's why he doesn't care for the Empire anymore and he wants out. So it's very interesting what's going on here. I don't know. um, as they're marching up through the woods, Skeen gets a knife to Andor's throat and finally rips the kyber crystal free because he knew that he was hiding something, and he's like, why would you be here if you had this? Who brings a treasure to a heist? Um, and it's this confrontation where, I mean, Cassian's about to shoot this guy. I mean, give me my stuff back. And it eventually calms down, and he comes clean. He's like, I'm being paid to be here. I won't walk in there looking over my shoulder because you guys don't trust me. And, it doesn't matter because if it wasn't this, it'd be something else. This is great speech he gives here. Um, the day before is always hard. There's too much time to worry. And he accuses all of them of being scared. And he says, I'm scared too, but there's a difference between being scared and losing your nerve. And don't use me as an excuse. If you want to walk away, walk away. And I was like, this is a great speech. It's one of the reasons I'm loving this show because of the writing. Um, so we get more insight into Mon Mothma and her husband in this scene in the car with a taxi, where he's like, "Why, what's this new foundation you're setting up? Why didn't you tell me?" She's like, she's being evasive because I think it's the foundation that she's setting up to move money, and she's like, well, I didn't think you would want to be involved. And he's like, why? And she's like, because it's charitable. So there's a pointed jab, but he's like, ugh. And then he sighs, and then he goes, what's his name? And he's at least attempting to learn the name of the driver that they have. So it's not all, he appears to be at least, trying to make an effort in this one scene at least. Um, this montage here towards the end of the episode, we start as we're coming down, look at the dam in the nighttime. It's really a brilliant shot. Then we're back to Cyril. He's got this hollow with Cassian's face, so he's obviously obsessing over it. And then Gorn's on the bridge, checking the signal from the mountains. We're in the end game now. Skeen's telling a story about his brother and how the Empire flooded his land, and his brother killed himself over it. And tells Cassian that's as close to an apology as he's gonna get. And Cassian says like close enough, and I loved that line of dialogue. And then we're back to Luthen, and he's trying to get a signal from his base on Coruscant, and he's obviously super nervous about the heist, and he needs to know what's going on. And his assistant is like telling him to calm down. He's like, yeah, but did you check the emergency pack here and the emergency pack there, and if we can get away? And she's like, you know what? You just need to relax. Vel's the only one that tracks back. Stop being nervous. And he's like, actually, Andor could track me back because I wasn't as careful as I should have been. I got too hungry to make this happen. I let my guard down. And she's like, just stop it. Tomorrow it'll all be over at this time. And he replies, or it'll all be just beginning, which is a great way to end this episode because we know that this is the end, or the halfway point is episode 6. So the next week's episode is going to be the halfway point, and that's going to be the end of the first story arc. Because the way I assume it's going to happen is next week's episode is going to be the heist. Something will go wrong, but something will probably go right too, but it's going to be the start of the heist, or start of the rebellion. So the heist has to happen. And that's going to be the end of the first story arc. 'Cause we're halfway through the first season, so we've still got 6 episodes to go. So I predict that it's going to be the end of the first arc. We're going to get the heist. Something will have to go wrong though, because you got to give them something to set up for the next episode. I can't wait to see where it's all going. I'm loving Star Wars Andor. I think you should give it a shot. Another great episode. I mean, I would give this like a solid, honestly, 10 out of 10 for me. Like, there's nothing here that I'm not enjoying. It was a little bit slower than previous episodes, but they're building up towards um, the heist, and so I'm on board for all of this. Like, it's just an amazing opportunity for me to get more Star Wars in my life, and you can never go wrong with that. Love to hear thoughts and comments below. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, support with a super thanks or a super sticker and stuff on live streams. Join the Adventurers Guild down there for $2.99 a month. Hopefully we'll see you there as well as over in our Discord and during a live stream. Until next time, everybody, stay safe and happy viewing. May the Force be with you.